Saturday night was quite an event. What was it like?
It was a big win, a huge win. Mississippi State, great football team, 2-0. So we knew coming in that we are gonna have to fight and have a battle. I like the way the team persevered and we fought all the way to the end of the game.
Certainly, those who know your story very well know that you moved over here from Arizona State, and I know you still have friends there, and it's got to be difficult, is it not, to see some of the events that have happened out there. Of course, Herm Edwards was let go over the weekend. Are you still in touch with some of your former teammates?
Yeah, I mean, we've talked to the guys here and there, but focus just been on LSU and how we could go from here. I'm always praying for those guys over there. But since I transferred, my focus has been on straight LSU. Just moving forward with this team.
I would think so. So tell us, even though we're in the middle of the season now, and you probably told this story, what was there about LSU that attracted you so much to want to head there and ultimately become the starting quarterback?
Really just the opportunity to play on the highest level, the biggest stage. There's no better conference in the SEC. Be able to play at LSU and just go out there and play for tradition and the pride of the state of Louisiana. It was the best opportunity for me.
Jayden, you were blessed with two parents who were both extremely good in athletics. Of course, your mother ran track and your dad was a DB at Washington and Iowa State. Growing up, was following their footsteps something that you were talked to about, or did you just develop it on your own?
I just developed on my own. My dad said he put a football in my hand when I was young. Basketball, everything, track. I just played all sports, and as I got older, football was the one that I chose. It was my first love. I always loved playing football. I always want to be around football, watch football. So I just developed that love on my own.
I've read some stories about you, and unlike a lot of us normal folks who are always battling what we eat, you showed up for football at 14 and were really too thin, which, I mean, every kid would like to just never stop eating, and I'm not making light of it because you had to overcome it, but what was that like to be told that you were not big enough or heavy enough to play football?
It was wild. It was wild. Yeah, 'cause the coaches in high school, they wanted me to start my freshman year. So I needed to get a waiver to go out and play, one, because I was too young to play varsity, and two, they just wanted to make sure that I was my safety. And we had to get a second opinion. They let me play, and then we just went from there. But, I mean, at first it was kind of like just a shocker. You never hear that, but I knew it was all God's plan, God's timing. He worked out in my favor.
This is a question I don't think I've ever asked anybody. Usually it's the opposite. How did you gain weight, and what did you eat to finally get to a point where you were safe on a football field?
I mean, it's just over time. As I started maturing more, I started to put on more weight each and every year. So, I mean, I used to drink protein shakes in the morning, middle of the night, eat late at night, stuff like that before bed. So it was just dedication to better myself so I could be able to go out there and just play football at a high level.
Jayden, ultimately, it worked out. Is it still something that you have to eat extra, or can you just have a normal eating for a football player? That is, have a normal diet like other of your teammates?
I mean, it's a little here and there. It's not as bad now, but still working. Just to pack on more weight. I'm around the desired weight I want to be at, but here, you can always improve.
Jayden, let me ask you about something I saw where a number of your teammates went out to L.A. This summer, and a lot of what we're seeing now may have come together. You ran into I don't think you visited with Odell Beckham Jr. out there, a pretty well-known LSU Tiger. Take us through your trip to California.
Yes, me and a couple of wide receivers went out there, a couple of linemen. They wanted to go see the West Coast, see California, because most of them never been outside of the UCLA game last year. So I'm from Southern California, so going out there to be able just to show them just to build that chemistry, that camaraderie, work out, have fun, see different things, and just get to know each other on a more personal level.
What since it's pretty native area for you, where did you take them and what did you show them?
We were in Hollywood, so Los Angeles. I showed them all that, the beach, the malls, Rodeo Drive, and things like that. Everything that a young adult or adults, college kids want to see nowadays.
I've been to Rodeo Drive a few times. Those are fairly steep prices, even for the modern college athlete, aren't they?
Yep, it's a lot.
I wouldn't. What did Odell tell you about LSU that maybe you had not heard yet?
He said you're gonna love it out here. Those guys. I mean, they're big time players here at LSU in the state. You go out there, handle business. The state's gonna love you. So he's like, just go out there and just be yourself. That's the biggest thing I took away from that.
So, Jayden, you grew up in Southern Cal. You spend the early part of your college career in the Phoenix area, which is fairly it's not that far from LA. So, what was it like to get to Southern Louisiana and experience, by all accounts, I've lived down there, a totally different world? What surprised you the most?
It was shocking to me. It's a culture shock. Coming from the West Coast in California, everything's moving so fast, and coming to the South, you just go out there and it slowed down a little bit. So I was getting used to the culture shock and how things move, the way people talk out here. So that's the biggest thing I was getting used to, and the humidity also, because I'm still trying to battle that. But when I first got here, it was pretty bad.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.